So I can only share my experience and what I went through and my solutions on this channel for me in hopes that it helps you. So I want to keep everything respectful. I want to keep the comment section respectful. And the best way to do that, I feel like, if you want to say how old you are, as much information as you want to give, name your symptoms and what you went through and what the doctor said to you and how you got over it, and what supplements you took, what solutions you have for your specific problem. I think that can be the most helpful to other people suffering. If you've ever dealt with a stomach issue and you know the desperation because of the pain on how badly this needs to be fixed, and then go to the doctors and they're maybe not that helpful, this channel is for you guys. I want to be able to help as many people as possible going through any sort of stomach issue. Now, this is an adoption channel, and if you don't know how common stomach issues are in adoption, now you know. They're very common. I've been dealing with stomach issues my entire life: digestion, stomach pain, stuff like that. And my stomach has always had issues, but a few years ago, it was getting to the point where I had to start taking some sort of supplement, psyllium husk, and that was like my go-to thing. Because I had problems digesting stuff and going regularly. That thing was like my go-to. Everything felt fine. I had a really, really hard job, physically intense, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, which is crazy. And I was going to the gym after work, and I think I just stressed myself out, and it just, like, my body shut down. It was like one day my body just said, we're not going to digest food anymore. It literally went from like feeling like everything was moving to just locking up. I felt my stomach literally like stop producing stomach acid, if you know what that feels like. And then everything in my big intestines, my stomach got cramped and hard, and just, if you touch my stomach, it felt like a rock. I was freaked the fuck out, because it is terrifying knowing that one day you can regularly go and the next day your stomach feels hard as a rock and nothing's moving. Nothing is moving. It is so painful. I woke up in tears almost every day, and I still had to go to work, and I would try to show up to work with like this good attitude and pretend like I'm not in the most extreme pain ever. And I started going to doctors. I went to doctors for like 1.5 to 2 years. Zero help. I had a colonoscopy, and I had an endoscopy, or endoscopy, however you want to pronounce it. Zero help. Doctors tried to gaslight me. They laughed at me. They said you have anxiety. They said you had mental problems. There was one doctor that I wanted to punch in the face, because I literally went there. I had a notebook like this because I was like, I'm like, you guys aren't helping me. I'm gonna write everything out, the dates. So showing up with a notebook, he thought I was like crazy. He's like, oh, you got obsession problems, man. I'm like, the only reason I'm obsessing on this is if you know how much pain I was in. I'm trying to fix my stomach. And he was laughing at me and said I'm obsessive. And yeah, if you have your health taken away from you overnight and you're in constant pain, that's what we're gonna focus on in this video. So yeah, now you know my symptoms. Just horrible pain. Doctors were being of no help. I did get all the tests. I got all the blood work. They said I was perfectly healthy, and I couldn't find any solution. So I had to figure out solutions on my own, and I'm going to share those with you. Hopefully these help. So I had to go on an elimination diet. I had no idea what would work for my body. I had to try different foods, different eliminations. I tried chicken and rice. My stomach still wasn't getting better. I tried fasting. And if you have never experienced the fear of eating, well, you know you have to eat. That's the state I was in. I knew I was like, I'm fasting, I'm not getting better. There was no movement in my stomach. There was no bubbling. When you get hungry, you know, you hear your stomach gurgle. There was nothing. It was completely silent. And I wasn't going to the bathroom for like 2 weeks straight, and I was just in pain almost all the time. And it's just a really dark place to be in. And psyllium husk actually wasn't working for me anymore. It was making things worse. It felt like it was slowing things down even worse. So I had to completely start from scratch. Chicken and rice wasn't working. So I tried a vegan diet. Everybody said go vegan, so I tried just vegetables. That actually made my stomach hurt worse. And people are like, just push through it. You know, I was listening to everybody else, just push through it. You know, your stomach needs time to rebuild, da 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 da. And it didn't work. So I had to try another diet, which was, I tried fruits, because everybody said the fruit diet. There was this one guy on YouTube, I think he like ate bananas and apples and fruits, and he said to make, I was searching for answers desperately, and I tried to make smoothies. He said, try to make like real fruit smoothies, and my face started turning purple after I went on the fruit diet, because I don't know if it was all the sugar or what was going on, but that didn't work. And then I tried, I think there was one lady that like just ate bananas or one type of food. I mean, you start thinking of some crazy stuff like what's gonna work. Long story short, I went on the carnivore diet. Joe Rogan, that guy that Joe Rogan had, that's what worked for me. Everybody else's stomach, you have to do what works for you. This whole video, keep that in mind. You gotta do what works for you. You gotta try to get your diet on point. Try elimination diets and try specific foods. You will learn what your body tolerates and doesn't tolerate. Do not listen to other people. Listen to your stomach. Listen to what it tells you to digest. So for me, high protein, high fat diet, and my stomach does not like carbs. The best supplements that I took are Betaine HCL. Now, every doctor told me that I need to go on acid blockers, and I found out that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? My stomach wasn't digesting, so I had to do Google searches, YouTube videos, Reddit, all the stuff, and this is what I landed on. So if you feel like your stomach doesn't have any movement on it, there's nothing happening in your stomach, it's not making gurgling sounds, your stomach has like, I think it's called peristalsis or no movement, but it's just not moving, this will get things started from the top. So you eat your food, it goes down in your stomach. It starts with breaking the food down. So this was a lifesaver. This started getting things, this was like the first thing I started taking. And if you need more information on this, there's a lot of information online, YouTube videos, and even on the Amazon website. Right now it is $28.76 at the time of this recording. Try this out if you have these same symptoms. And the other thing I took that really ended up helping me out was Renew Life Ultimate Care Probiotics. I took every single probiotic in the book. I took Hyperbiotics, I think they're called, Align, Floristar, everything at the grocery store. I mean, I was ordering things like left and right on my credit card. I was going into debt because my stomach pain was the only thing I could think about and focus on. It was so bad. And Ultimate Flora Probiotic, 200 billion live cultures. It's a 7-day program, and this is just what worked for me. I'm not trying to really sell anything, but this is where it works for me, and I know that the pain and desperation goes into looking for relief. Renew Life worked for me. I hope it works for you if you want to try it out. It's actually not available online on Amazon right now, but I will try to find a link. If somebody can help me put a link in the description or in the comments, let's try to be helpful to other people in this video. And vitamin D3, this one helped out overall health. I started taking this around that time. And then zinc really started helping me out around this time too. I noticed those 4 supplements, I think that was 4. Those 4 supplements are the main ones I still take to this day. Betaine saved my life. I mean, it really was like one of the most valuable supplements I have ever purchased for my stomach issues. And then, so that's for the main solutions, what you can try now if you haven't heard of these things. And for the temporary solutions, I had to really start, we are talking about some deep shit in here and some really like butthole type stuff. So we're gonna have to talk about some of that stuff. And what what happened was, if you really can't go, you might need fleet enemas. I did used to use the actual bag and the little, what is it, the little, I don't know, they're like a little like what do you call it? It's like something you squeeze up your bunghole. I don't know what they're called, but they're fleet enemas. Magnesium. This specific brand, Nature's Life Magnesium 500. It has magnesium oxide, citrate, and malate. For some reason, this thing, you take it at night, 2 of them before night, this thing will make you go like crazy. And activated charcoal, this is for temporary relief. I actually used to take this after a night of drinking. My stomach would hurt so bad. Take these, it would help a lot. And that's good for like detoxing too. Other immediate relief was saltwater flushes. You can put salt water in a certain amount of water. I'll have all this stuff in the description on the specific stuff, but it's saltwater flush. You drink salt water and then it flushes out and goes into your intestines and flushes everything out, and it'll make you go, it'll force you to go. We talked about the enemas, the fleet enemas, the magnesium and activated charcoal. And that is what worked for me. I have tried everything and it has been an extremely isolating, lonely journey. Please share what works for you, because this is something that I really don't think doctors really have a lot of information on, and they gaslight you and they tell you you're crazy. You have anxiety, you have stress, and the only thing that made it more stressful was them telling me I had anxiety. That is not the cause. Your pain is real. Your pain and symptoms are really happening, and you're trying to find a solution. So please try to help other people. I hope you find the solutions you're looking for. I hope this video was helpful. I completely forgot to add, if you do not know the value of stretching and you have not read David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, stretching also was one of the #1 things that I think saved my stomach. If you don't know how many muscles are around your hips and in your abs and your psoas muscle, what he said is it chokes you out from the inside, and they're all around your intestines and stuff like that. If you're a very stressful person and you hold a lot in and you don't know how to deal with it, it can be life-saving for you to try to stretch out your quads. Try to stretch out your glutes and your hamstrings. And this thing, ever since I started stretching, my digestion has gotten 100% better. Let's say if I was at like 10% stomach function at my worst, I'm about 80 to 90% right now. I don't have any stomach pain. I have trouble digesting some food, but it's not even something I think about anymore. Stretching, I would highly, highly, highly recommend do it at least for 20 to 30 minutes a night, every other night. Make it part of your routine. Do it for a couple weeks straight and see if your digestion gets better. This is something that I highly recommend. Go check out David Goggins' book on his chapter about stretching and Can't Hurt Me. This is something that has worked for me, and nobody really talks about this in digestion very much either, but stomach tightness, muscle tightness, nerve tension, it all goes together. The body is one big machine. So I really hope this helps too.